What if I told you that I just spent $99 on a disc that I've never thrown before in my life? Is it good? Hey guys, welcome back to Disrespect Disc Golf. Don't forget to like and subscribe below. We really appreciate you guys subscribing and following the journey. Today I'm excited to do a review on a disc that I just got my hands on. This disc is the Goliath SAMSON. This is a brand new, very overstable mid-range from Goliath Discs. We don't have flight numbers for this disc just because flight numbers are more of a general idea of how a disc should fly. I have one of the test flights here with me today. The stock run of the SAMSON won't be out until October, maybe early November this year. So I'm excited to get my hands on one of the first ones. I think there's only a couple test flights made. We've got a couple in Oasis plastic, which is kind of like a premium plastic that's a little bit soft. And then we'll also have Galaxy plastic coming out soon, which is going to be like our metal flake plastic. So I'm super excited to throw this. It feels great in the hand. And I'm going to compare this Goliath SAMSON to a couple other very stable mid-ranges from other companies. So along with the SAMSON, we've got the Discraft Swarm. These are pretty close as well in terms of like the parting lines and all that. Then I have another disc that's also 5304. This is the Discmania Mutant. If you look at this one's like a lot more like boxy. It's got a lot of like sharp lines and stuff along the mid-range. Got two of them that are 5304. That should have less glide and more fade and more overstability, I would assume. And then I have two that are 5403, so a little bit more glide with a little bit less fade. We've got the Bard from Westside here. Here's a look at the profile. Parting line is kind of high, and then it does have a little small micro bead on there as well. I've never thrown any of these discs. I've never thrown the SAMSON, I've never thrown a Swarm, I've never thrown a Mutant, I've never thrown a Bard, and I've also never thrown a Nord. This one seems very similar, honestly. I think it's like a little bit more domey. If you kind of take a look at both of them, the SAMSON is absolutely just dead flat on top there, while the Nord definitely has some dome on there. But the hand feel is like pretty similar. I will say, as far as the plastic goes, the Nord is the closest one to the plastic feel of the SAMSON. Like I said, this is premium plastic, but it is a little soft. It has some give to it. And you can definitely find that same thing with Castaplast K1 line. It's going to be a little bit softer and a little bit more grippy. The Bard is similar as well, I would say. And then for some stiffer plastics, the Mutant definitely is starting to get a little bit stiffer. And then the Swarm and this ESP plastic was like a first run Swarm. This is going to be the one with the least amount of give. Okay, so this right here will kind of give you a good look at all the profiles. Some of these discs are dead flat on top. Some of them have a little dome. I would say the flat ones are the Swarm, the SAMSON, and the Mutant. And the ones with a little bit more dome are going to be the Nord and the Bard. The weird four-letter words that end with D. Again, I have not thrown any of these discs ever. I'm very excited to throw them. This is more of a review on the SAMSON and less of a comparison, but I did want to get some similar discs from similar companies just to kind of give you a reference for how the Goliath SAMSON flies. So I'm going to throw all of these. I'll test out the speed, and I'll also test out the fade and how much bite it has, and how overstable these are, and as well as the torque resistance. I'll also kind of compare how torque resistant the SAMSON is compared to any of these other ones, and then you can kind of decide for yourself what kind of mid-range slot you would like. And if you feel like the Goliath SAMSON is a good fit for you, this will be coming out in October, like I said before, and we'll have this up on the site shortly after that. Without further ado, let's get out to the field and let's go compare some mid-ranges. And I can't forget about this either. I also do want to mention that I do have a Dynamic Disc Justice. Besides the bead, it's actually very similar. It's flat on top. It's kind of like rounded here, just like the Samson. It's not going to be quite as tall. You can see the Justice is definitely shorter than the Samson. Like it would be more like this. And then it's got the bead on the bottom, and the Samson is beadless. I also totally forgot to get this out of my bag, but my current slot for my super overstable mid-range is the Ultra from Birdie. And this is 5303 is what Birdie gives the flight numbers to the Ultra. So this is currently in my bag, and the Samson is going to be fighting for a spot. First throw, let's see how this flies. Interesting. Straight for a while, and then all of a sudden it just dumped. Straight for a little bit. It's more of like a gradual hyzer. Barred. See what this one does. Similar. Might have thrown that a little bit higher up. Same thing with that. You can see like it gets to flat and it's like happy being flat for a second. Might even just kind of drift and then it hooks up immediately. And we got the Mutant. Oh yeah. A lot more overstable and a lot less glide. Oh, that's just so beef. I think that's the most overstable one of the bunch with the least glide. Swarm. That's pretty similar. I might be a touch more glide than the Mutant though. Okay. A little more speed on that one than last time, and it kind of held straight longer that time. Here we go, Goliath SAMSON. This plastic literally feels so much better than all the rest. See what this one does. Oh, that's beef, wow. Interesting. That feels more like the ones that are like less overstable, but it's like just as overstable as the Swarm and the Mutant were. Pretty interesting. Oh, that's crazy. And right before I threw that, you could probably hear that the wind picked up. This will be the real test to see just how overstable these are. Sometimes discs can disguise themselves as very overstable on a backhand, but until you get it on a forehand, you won't know just how overstable it actually is. So this will be interesting to see what happens here. My theory is that the Bard and the Nord have more of a tendency to kind of flip over. That's what I'm thinking, but I think the Swarm, the Mutant, and the Samson will be super torque resistant. So let's find out. Nord first, and just try to throw these flat on a forehand. That's exactly what I thought. Couldn't totally handle it. Bard should be like the same thing. I mean, it's an overstable profile, but it's not like, it just doesn't seem torque resistant to me. Oh, same thing. Wow, look at that. Wow. I am very surprised by that one. I'll go with the Mutant. This thing should fight any type of forehand, I think. Yep. Easily fought that one. I'm going to try the Ultra. This is what I normally throw. I do throw this on a lot of forehand upshots, and I do trust this disc a lot. Yeah. Very overstable. Super nice disc. Swarm should be exactly the same thing. Yep. Might have been a touch of hyzer on that. Okay, here we go. Goliath SAMSON has entered the party. Trying to take down these big boys. Let's see what she has. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna grab those and throw those on Anheuser forehand, see what they do now. Ultra. Bard. No chance, buddy. I didn't even put that much ante on it. Yeah, that thing is a wobbler. Nord. Oh, I mean, that was... You don't really need to see that anyways. With a swarm now. Oh, yeah. That thing's stable. Mutant. Oh, it came out at the end, wow. I really tugged on that one. Goliath SAMSON. Wow. That thing might be the most stable of them all. SAMSON. Holy beef. No way. That thing's deceiving. It doesn't look like it's going to be that aggressive of a fade from looking at the disc itself. That thing is surprising me. It's crazy overstable. Justice. Now that's actually pretty similar to the SAMSON as far as the flight. SAMSON. SAMSON. Here we go, baby. Tailwind. We've got kind of like a headwind coming at us, kind of fluctuating between 5 and 12 miles per hour, I would say. So I'm going to see what the SAMSON can do with a little bit of a headwind coming at us, a little bit of breeze. Going to throw it pretty hard on a backhand and just going to try to throw it flat, give it a lot of power, a lot of torque, and see how overstable she is and see how much it can fight the wind. Get out of here, that's crazy. I hope you could see that well enough. I mean, that thing, it just wants to get to the ground. It didn't really glide at all. It literally is like a short chain breaker. That's exactly how I would describe it. 50 to 65, 70% of the distance that you get from a chain breaker is what the SAMSON will give you. Justice, I will say the Justice does feel very similar to the SAMSON. I think this one is a touch more shallow. And some of the other ones, like the Swarm, and the Nord and the Bard, and the Mutant, those are all a little bit deeper than the SAMSON in my hand. SAMSON's like a perfect depth for me. This Justice, I could throw the Justice, I could bag it, but it's just like slightly too shallow. I really noticed that on the forehand as well. So I really like the depth of the SAMSON a lot. Holy beefcake, dude. 159 grams, it still flies like that. SAMSON. See how this flies on a forehand. And just throw it flat. Got some wind coming at us. Okay, so first thoughts after throwing the SAMSON backhand and forehand. I like it a lot. I absolutely love the feel of the disc. Very comfortable on a backhand, very comfortable on a forehand. Not too deep, not too shallow. It just feels very comfortable in my hands. The flight is very overstable. Cuts into a headwind, no problem. Doesn't wobble, comes out pretty clean. Very, very, very overstable. Like, this disc is very torque resistant. Handles just a ton of power, and it doesn't go super far. So it's good for distance control. Like, if you want to throw something full power, no, it's not going to go past like 250, maybe 225 on most of these throws, then the SAMSON is a great choice. It's going to be a little step up from your approach disc. So whether you throw a pillar, a zone, a Toro, on and on the list goes, this is going to give you the same overstability, but a little bit more distance. And so you can throw this on longer approach shots. You can throw this on courses that have a very short layout for ace runs and stuff like that. And it's very versatile. It's very useful for forehand and backhand. I couldn't really find many flaws in it overall. I think sometimes it was like a little bit more overstable than I would like. But I think for a very overstable mid-range, it's better to be on the more overstable side than the side of like the Nord and the Bard, where like sometimes they flip over and they're finicky. Like you saw them on the forehands, they would kind of wobble and turn. So I'd rather lean on the side of extra overstability, which is what the Samson offers. I think it's an amazing disc, and I'm super excited for the stock run to come out. You guys should definitely check out Goliath's site when that's available. This coming October, maybe November. We should have 2, maybe 3 different colors available for you guys. The blue and either possibly red and possibly black. So we'll have Oasis, the premium plastic, which I'm throwing, and we'll also have a like metal flake, which we'll call it Galaxy plastic. All right, here we go, Goliath Samson. Oh, it's so beefy. Crazy. Discraft Swarm. That's very stable. Yeah. Discmania Mutant. Oh, it's so overstable. It's crazy. Look at that meat hook right there. We got the Justice up next. I put that on hyzer, and it just wants to like just dig straight down. Next up, we got the Bard from West Side. Yeah, not quite as aggressive. Last but not least, Castoplast Nord. Again, very stable, but it doesn't want to like bite as far or as hard as the other ones do. Okay guys, final throws of the day. I'm gonna rank these in order from my least favorite to my favorite. Number 1, Discraft Swarm. Gonna give this one a solid 6.5. I'm not a Discraft guy. I'm not a fan of the tooling underneath the disc. The Swarm is a little deep in my hand, and I'm just not like a huge fan of that. The shape of the disc feels good. It's just a little bit too deep for me. And yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just not a Discraft guy. The Mutant, I'm gonna give this one 6.5. It's just very interesting. The shape, it's very blocky. Also kind of deep, just like the Discraft Swarm. Couldn't really seem to fall in love with it. It's kind of tricky on a forehand, a little deep on a backhand. It's also very stable. I like something that's just a little bit less stable than this one. Oh, it's just so beefy. I'm gonna go ahead and give the West Side Disc Bard a 7 out of 10. Hand feels nice. I really like it for a backhand. It's kind of that softer, slightly gummy plastic, which I really like. Hand feels awesome. It's very smooth. Feels better than the Swarm and the Mutant on a forehand. And I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a 7 out of 10. Ooh. That's why it's not higher than a 7, because it's great on a backhand, but terrible on a forehand. Next up, we've got the Justice. I'm gonna give this one a solid 8 out of 10. Justice is a nice disc. Feels great in the hand. I'm not a huge bead guy, but I actually don't mind this one too much. The shape feels good. I love the rounded part of it. Great feeling forehand and backhand. Only negatives would be it's a little too stable for me, and it's just a hair too shallow for my liking. Next up on the list, Castoplast Nord. I'm gonna go ahead and give this thing a 9 out of 10. I absolutely love this disc. Again, it flies better on a backhand than it does on a forehand. Really enjoyed it overall. Plastic feels absolutely incredible. Flies great. Again, this is not something that I would bag for a forehand shot, but backhand all the way. This might even fight for a spot in my bag. I absolutely love it. Hand feel is super nice. It's a little rounded and has like a small micro bead. Overall, very, very pleased with the Castoplast Nord. I am throwing this on a forehand to finish out with, but I would not normally do that. Only negatives would be it's bad with torque resistance, and it is just slightly too deep for my liking. But 9 out of 10. last but not least, we have the Goliath SAMSON. I am a little biased because I'm sponsored by Goliath, but honestly, if I wasn't sponsored, I would probably rate this just the same. It feels absolutely incredible. I would give this a 9.5 out of 10. Only negatives would be it is just a hair more stable than I would like, making this more of a forehand friendly disc than a backhand friendly disc. Overall, on a backhand, it's great into a headwind. I would find myself throwing this a lot more on forehand than backhand. And it's super stable, feels great in the hand. I like that there's no bead on this. And one of the things why it's 9.5 is just because the plastic is so nice, and the depth for this is perfect for me. It's just not quite as shallow as the Justice, but still more shallow than like the Swarm and the other ones that I tried out. But overall, 9.5. Absolutely love the SAMSON from Goliath. And it is a beefcake. And we hit a tree for the first time. Thank you guys so much for watching this review of the Goliath SAMSON. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe below to the channel. Got a lot of other videos coming out soon and some more disc reviews in the future. Let me know what you guys think of the SAMSON. I know I couldn't compare it to every single other manufacturer, but I did my best to compare it to 5 or 6 other companies. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about the disc, and if you think that there's a company that has an overstable mid-range that's possibly better than the SAMSON. But that's all for now, guys. See you guys in the next one.